Do your emotions control you, or do you control them? Think about it. How many times has anger ruined your day? How often has fear or anxiety kept you from taking action? In today's world, where stress and distraction are everywhere, emotional control is a superpower. And 2,000 years ago, the Stoics discovered practical tools to master this power. This is the Stoic Guide to Emotional Control. Timeless lessons that can transform how you think, react, and live. The Stoics never said emotions are bad. They said uncontrolled emotions are dangerous. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. Emotions are natural, but if you let them drive your decisions, they'll drive you off course. The Stoics saw emotions like wild horses. You can't erase them, but you can train them. And once trained, they can carry you far. Epictetus, born a slave, and later one of the greatest teachers of philosophy, said it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the foundation of emotional control. You can't stop people from being rude. You can't prevent life from being unfair. But you can always choose your reaction. Between what happens and how you respond, there is a space, and in that space lies your freedom. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. One person screams and ruins their morning. Another shrugs and moves on. Same event, different reaction. Different day. The power isn't in the event. It's in your response, Seneca warned us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Think of anxiety. You worry about an interview, a test, or a conversation in your head. You fail 100 times before it even happens. That's emotional slavery. Stoicism teaches us to face only what is real, not what is imagined. When you feel anxiety, write down the worst-case scenario and ask, if this happened, could I survive it? Most of the time, the answer is yes. And once you know that, the emotion loses its bite. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote his private journal during wars, plagues, and betrayal. He reminded himself daily, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. And you have power over your mind, not outside events. His emotional control came from clarity. He knew what was his to control, his mind, his actions, and what was not. By separating these, he avoided drowning in emotions over things beyond his reach. In our world today, that clarity is just as necessary. Social media outrage, office gossip, politics. We waste energy on what we cannot control. Emotional control means asking, is this within my power? If yes, act. If no, let it go. The Stoics trained emotional control daily, with practices that we can use to negative visualization. Imagine losing what you love. Not to be sad, but to appreciate it more deeply, and to be less shaken if it happens. Memento mori, remember that life is short. When you keep mortality in mind, petty emotions lose their grip. Voluntary discomfort, practiced hardship on purpose. Fasting, cold showers. Simplicity if you can handle discomfort. Fear has less power. Daily journaling. Like Marcus, write your thoughts each night. Reflect on your anger, your fears, your reactions. Awareness brings control. And the simplest practice of all, pause and breathe. Epictetus taught that a pause between stimulus and response is where freedom lives. So, how does this help us today? Let's take examples. Anger at work. Instead of snapping back, pause and ask, will this matter in a week? If not, let it go. Anxiety about the future. Remember Seneca? Stop suffering twice. Focus on today's task. Fear of failure. Reframe it. Failure isn't disaster, it's information. It shows where to grow. Stress from uncertainty. Practice acceptance. You don't control tomorrow. You control how you show up today. The Stoics weren't writing from comfort. Epictetus lived with pain and disability. Marcus carried the weight of an empire. Seneca faced exile and threats. Yet, all of them found peace through discipline of the mind. They proved that emotional control isn't about denying pain. It's about refusing to let pain, fear, or anger dictate your choices. Emotional control doesn't mean you feel nothing. It means you feel deeply, but you remain free. Anger may knock, but it doesn't run your life. Anxiety may whisper, but it doesn't command your choices. The Stoics remind us that the strongest person is not the one who conquers others, but the one who conquers themselves. So the next time emotions rise, pause. Ask yourself, is this in my control? Is this real or imagined? Is my reaction making this better or worse? In that pause, you take your power back. And when you live this way, you're no longer a prisoner of anger, fear, or anxiety, you're free. This is the Stoic Guide to Emotional Control. Timeless wisdom tested in the fires of history. Still powerful in the chaos of today. Apply it daily, and you'll discover a calm and strength you didn't know you had if this message spoke to you. Hit like, it helps more people discover these ideas. Subscribe for weekly Stoic wisdom. And tell me in the comments, what emotion do you struggle to control the most? Anger, fear, anxiety? I'd love to hear your story.